no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, so you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life. You better do the damn thing right. Yeah.
Welcome guys back to the ShoeBenderPod podcast. I'm so happy to have you guys back. I'm so happy to have you guys back. I really messed that up. Sorry about that, guys, but we back. We got quite a bit of stuff to talk about today. We're going to kick it off with the NBA playoffs because that's what's been going on recently. And honestly, man, been really disappointed, boys. I really have been. Yeah, these playoffs haven't been as well as everybody's been planning them to be, unless you're a whack-ass Golden State fan. So you're probably having a great time. Which, speaking of them, we're going to stay with them. They play tonight. They have a 3-0 lead against the Dallas Mavericks. And it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good for Dallas. I mean, they should have got smashed out at home. I mean, it's just like I've been saying with this series. Like, if you stop Luka, you pretty much stop that whole team. He doesn't have a second fiddle, and not even a third fiddle. The only way this team wins is if, their role players are hitting their shots. And last game, no role player was hitting their shots. Like, none, bro. It was bad. And that's just what happens when you go against a team like Golden State. I just don't like the fact that they just keep shooting three-pointers, man. Like, where is the sense of urgency to drive to the rim? Everything is just, they could literally have a wide-ass open layup and they see someone open in the three and they rather kick it out to the three than get an easy two. It's wild, man. It's so wild nowadays how basketball is like that. Back then, man, that would have been a yeet. I mean, he was slamming that down. And now everybody's just kicking it out to the three-pointers. Like, why would you kick it out to the three when you literally have 100% chance of making this two-pointer? It's wild, man. It's not the basketball I grew up watching, that's for sure. But, I don't want to take anything away from the Warriors because they have been locking down this team. And they've been playing good, man. They're legit just a better team. That's the way it goes. After that game, you had Reggie Bullock, which literally went 0 for like 12, say that they weren't going to lose a game for the rest of the series. Come on, bro. No mames, bro. For real. Like, you're down 3-0, bro. You guys might make it 3-2, but y'all still going to lose that 6th game, man. Like, I just don't see it, man. I honestly don't see the Mavs getting swept. I could see them going hard in the paint, like just going hard tonight, just to not get swept. But then you're gonna end up losing in Golden State, man. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's been bad, man. Dallas doesn't look like they don't look like the team that they did the previous 2 rounds. Just because, like I said, they've just really locked down Luka. Luka's still getting the shots. He's still making the shots, but one guy can't do this at this level, at this round, at the conference finals round. It can't be one guy. It has to be a collective effort. And right now, that hasn't been happening for Dallas. So tonight, I do have them at least winning tonight because they're at home. But I feel Golden State will close it out at home as well. We'll switch over to the east side, which you got Miami and Boston, which is tied right now. They're tied. Yeah, I would like to say it's a very good series, but honestly, each game has been a blowout, man. I mean, the last game was probably one of the worst blowouts I've seen in a very long time. I mean, at one point, it was 1-16, like halfway through the first quarter. Like, that's bad, man. Like, Miami just couldn't make nothing, bro. They couldn't make anything. I'm not gonna front. I mean, they were calling all these bogus calls on the Celtics anyways, but that's expected to see that happen when you're playing in Boston. That's why I can't stand Boston. Like, they get the most ticky-tacky calls when they play at home. It always happens. It never fails. That's why I hate Boston, because they begin those stupid calls when you're barely even touching the guy. But it is what it is. That still doesn't mean that you should be shooting like 0 for 12, within your first shots. Like, you guys are professionals. Like, some of these shots have to go in. But I get it. Everybody has a bad day, man. Miami probably had their worst day last night. So it's better to have it right then, where the series could at least still be tied, and it could still go either way. Because I mean, they're tied. The ass whooping was really bad, but they're still tied. Anything can still happen, and the series is going to shift back to Miami. And Miami has a full home court advantage, but I did also say that this round, these two teams would go to a game 7. I could just see it. Like, they're not consistent enough, especially when they're going against another great team. These are these are probably the best teams left, and there's a reason why they're 1 and 2. Miami's number 1, Boston's number 2. So I do see this going to game 7. I see them just keep on, switching games. But honestly, this series, that's all it has been. There hasn't been no close loss. It's literally just been blowouts the whole time. And so we'll see what happens there. I still got Miami winning the series, just because I just feel they really are more scrappier, and they got the home court advantage. And that really does matter when you're in the playoffs, man. It really does. So that's basically what's going on in the NBA world. There hasn't been too much going on anywhere else, but there is something I'd really like to talk about, just because it started a freaking wildfire, honestly. And we're gonna switch over to the college football realm. And there's been some crazy stuff going on between Nick Saban, not him, my bad. Clemson's catching the stray over here. Jimbo Fisher, the coach for the Texas A&M, and then Deion Sanders, primetime. Because if you haven't heard, Nick Saban called these guys out, man. He called them out, saying that Texas A&M bought all their players, and that he hasn't bought any, which everybody knows is a lie. You look at all the comments on the internet, and everybody said, you're a liar, you're a cheater too. But I totally agree with what some of the analysts were saying, and some of the people were saying in the comment section, because they were saying that the only reason why he's bitching is because he ain't getting the number 1 recruiting class anymore. And it's not going to be like that no more, because Alabama don't got that kind of feria, man. You don't got that kind of money. You don't. Let's be real. You're not going to compete with Texas. You're not going to compete with Ohio State. You're not going to compete with USC. Like, these teams have money, man. They have money. And Bama, I think he's starting to see the changing of the tide. And I honestly really like the whole thing that's been going on, because USC is like kind of just going under they're like low key just gliding by while they're buying really good players. I mean, they were able to get Caleb Williams from Oklahoma. They were able to get the number 1 receiver in the nation to go there on NIL deals. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody's just talking about Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher and Deion Sanders, because Nick Saban was out of line, man. Like, you don't say that about other coaches, especially if you've been doing the same shit. Let's be real. Like, you can't, man. You look like the biggest hypocrite ever. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like Bill Belichick trying to say that another coach only beat him because he cheated. It's like, bro, you cheat all the time too. It happens. It really does. Like, whether fans want to admit it or not, cheating happens at all levels in sports, man. It really does. It sucks. It really does, because you got really great players that get cheated out of championships because you got the other teams cheating. And that's not cool, man. But that's the way it goes down. So Nick Saban called out Jimbo Fisher and Deion Sanders about buying players to be able to get them to recruit them. And me personally, my opinion on it, I've already said that I agree with what they're saying. I agree with what like the internet's saying, because it is true, man. Like, check it out. I'm gonna use this as a prime example. Bryce Young, the quarterback he has there now, Alabama, committed to USC. He committed to USC. He was literally just waiting to go there, and literally right before signing day, he switched his mind, and he ended up going to Alabama. Like, this kid played at Mater Dei. If you don't know who Mater Dei is, look that high school up. It's literally a powerhouse in California. And any great quarterback, if you're a great quarterback there at Mater Dei, it's like a tradition that you go to USC. Matt Leinart, John David Booty, I think he was there. JT, what's his name? He just went to West Virginia. Let me see here, my bad. I want to say JT Barrett, but that's a kid that went to that's a kid that just went to Ohio State. But here, let me look it up just so I could give you guys the right name. JT, what was it? But you got like guys like while I look him up, you got Matt Barkley that did the same thing. Where is this guy at? He literally transferred from Georgia. Let me see here. Oh, JT Daniels. There we go. I knew it was JT something. JT Daniels. So he played at Mater Dei and also went to USC. Like, it's just a tradition that you do this. And so you're gonna try to tell me that Bryce Young left Southern Cal, left USC, which is literally in downtown LA. It's literally, you look outside on the campus, you see downtown LA. You're gonna try to tell me that this kid is leaving the beach, the sun, LA, to go play in Alabama, bro? You're gonna try to tell me he's gonna go leave to play Alabama, bro? There's no way in hell that kid's leaving to go to play Alabama unless you're paying him, man. Unless you're paying him. And everybody knows it, man. So that's the whole tornado that's been taking, the college football world by storm, by him calling them out, because now you got everybody calling Nick Saban out. Now people really hate this team. I mean, they hated him before, and he just gave them even more fuel to hate him even more, man. And I mean, Jimbo Fisher, he went at him, man. He went at him. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out, man. Like, just look up Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban, and you'll see how he went at Nick Saban. And I mean, he went after him, man. And I agree with what he said, but it's also like, it's one of those things that's what I was saying, that like, he could say that, but it's like you're still cheating too, man. You are paying these players to come play for you. It don't matter if you get the top tier class. You still have to be able to coach them to beat these teams. You can have all the best players, but if you don't have the right coaches or the right coaching going at it, you're not going to win anything, man. You're just not. So yeah, that's what's been going on in the college world. What else did I like to talk about? There's really not too much stuff that went on over the weekend. We got the Champions League this Saturday, the final, which is Liverpool. I know Liverpool's playing in it, and who else? Let me see here. Let me look that up for you guys. So it's Champions League and Real Madrid, man. So I'm gonna go for Liverpool because LeBron James, part owner, and they're Nike. Fucking Real Madrid's that other brand. We don't talk about that whack ass brand, bro. But that's going down this Saturday. There was also some news today too, saying that and of course I knew this was gonna happen, that Canelo's gonna fight Triple G, and then he's gonna fight Bivol. I doubt it. I know he don't want that smoke with Bivol, man, and he's not even the worst one you have to worry about, man. There's another beast in that weight class, and that's the one you have to worry about. But Canelo's gonna fight Triple G for the 4th time. Probably because Triple G is actually willing to take the money and take the loss. And Bivol, they're probably sitting there trying to negotiate with him the whole time, or probably taking this fight to make the money to pay this guy to lose, because you're not beating this guy. He's bigger than you and he's more skilled than you, and he proved it. Me personally, I feel like it was a huge mistake him trying to move up to those classes, man, because these guys are huge. They're huge and they hit hard, man. They really do. And he got to see it firsthand, man. But I know he ain't trying to move down either and trying to fight guys like the Charlo twins, Spence, or Crawford. He ain't trying to see those guys. He ain't trying to see Benavidez. People were saying, like, oh, even if he does fight those guys, they're still gonna be, nitpicking and all that stuff. Well, yeah, people are always gonna nitpick when you got all these great boxers that you could fight and you choose not to. People are always gonna nitpick on that, man. That's just the way it goes. You can't please everybody. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the boxing world. That's a big fight that got made. They're gonna fight here in September, so it's actually coming up pretty quick. We're in May. We're about to be in June, so it's like 3 months away, man. Like, and it's gonna be here very quick. But yeah, that's basically what's been going on. There were some NFL signings too. Let me see here. I know that Jadeveon Clowney re-signed with the Browns, which I think that's a huge move. Anytime you can have, elite pass rushers on each side, especially, in that division where it's just super tough, the AFC North, and just the AFC in general, man, because once the playoffs come around, you're going to be seeing some really, really good quarterbacks, and they're all young. The Seahawks just signed Marquise Goodwin, which is a track star. I was watching highlights on him the other day at practice, and man, that guy is so fast, man. He's not even that he's fast, but he's just such a great route runner, man. So we got like an abundance of players at receiver. It seems like that's all we keep signing, which kind of throws me off. But it is what it is. You got Nick Foles signing to go to the Colts. Phillip Lindsay, he actually took off to the Colts too. Damn, I didn't see that one. Which is actually that's a really good pickup, man. Because you already got the best running back in the NFL in Jonathan Taylor, and now you're gonna add Phillip Lindsay as a backup, which he did really good too last year with the Broncos. He obviously didn't have like a great season, but he did his thing. He was somewhat productive, Let me see here. Who else is here? I'm not really seeing anything else here besides those guys. Let's see here. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. Yeah, that's basically it. There hasn't really been anything else going on in the NFL world. Besides the fact that there's the owner meetings going right now, and people are just honestly kind of see if they're gonna let Dan Snyder, if they're gonna make him force him to sell the team. Which, me personally, I don't get how the hell he's an owner still, but it is what it is. I'm not the commissioner. I'm not an owner, so I don't get to make those kind of decisions. But things are gonna start ramping up, man, especially in the sports world. We got the finals coming up. We got football camps that are starting up. There's been some big news of players not showing up to OTAs, like Kyler Murray and Deebo Samuels. The whole Deebo thing, we know that because homeboy just wants to get a new contract. Murray, I believe, is the same thing. But eventually they are gonna get paid, man. But the thing is, like, these guys might be asking for the money at the wrong time because they might be invested in other players too much already. With Murray, you got them playing Watt. I think they're paying Buda Baker, DeAndre Hopkins. Who else? I'm trying to think of who else they would probably be paying. I'm pretty sure they're probably playing for a defensive lineman, an offensive tackle. But the 49ers, you already know what's going on with that. You You got Trent Williams, Craig Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo that you're paying. Nick Bosa still isn't there. He hasn't had to got paid yet. I don't really see anybody else that they're paying, but I know that Kittle's making like $20 million a year as a tight end, which is crazy. But he honestly deserves it. There's only a couple tight ends that deserve that kind of money. Craig Kittle's one of them for sure. But that's definitely what's been going on in the NFL world, guys. Sorry it took a while for me to come back out with another episode, but just work been busy, and there hasn't been too much to talk about, honestly. So now that with that being said, I do want to take the time to talk about the tragic event that happened today. It literally happened like a couple hours ago down in Texas, man. Man, it's tough, man. It really is. It's tough. No family should ever have to go through these kind of losses, man. For real. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. It's sad. It's just overall it's just bad, man. There's a reason why I hate guns, man. I lost 3 really good friends to them. And that sticks with me every day. Anytime I hear about gun violence, man, those are the first 3 people that pop into my head, man. Out of respect for the family, I won't say their names. They obviously know who they are. But I just like to. Man, it's tough, man. There was a school shooting in Texas that happened not too long ago, a couple hours ago. It was at elementary school, man. Kids, man. Kids. And 14 of them were lost, and a teacher. And it's just overall bad, man. There really has to be something done about this kind of stuff, man. Like, honestly, man, I don't get it. I have no, how do I say it? I have no, remedies or any kind of plan for it to change. But I know there's people out there that do got the plans to make these kind of changes, man. And it needs to happen. It needs to happen. This cannot be happening, man. This really should not be happening at all. At any school. Anywhere. Honestly, anywhere. So my prayers of strength and healing go out to all those of family that were affected today. And man, it's very tragic. Please hug your loved ones. Tell them how much you love them. Every day. Every single day. Because you never know what could happen, man. Never. I hate to end this on a sad note because I never ended on a sad note. But if it's one message I would really like to get out to you guys, is hug and love the people around you. Because you never ever know what tomorrow brings, man. And I'll end this podcast with that. I love you guys. Take care. Keep on doing what you're doing. And just hug and love your loved ones, man. For real. See you guys on the next one.
There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste. So you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life.